Gracie West here, just downtown Portland. I have to step over here for a minute if I don't want to put on my mask, because we're supposed to wear masks when we're outside and we can't be more than 6 feet away from somebody. I just wanted to go live because I was downtown and I figured why not. Some of my friends don't believe that this downtown area has become a kind of a trash heap. So I was just getting some video footage of it while I'm here. I thought I would go live and bring you along. Hi Angie. So you're probably going to see me in a mask most of the time because I have to wear one down outside now in Oregon when you can't be 6 feet away from people. Anyway, there's a lot of people meeting downtown in the center of town. It looks like some event, maybe lawyers against the feds or something. So I might interview some people if I can, crazies, maybe just capture some of what is happening around me here. All right, see if I can switch the camera angle. There we go.
What's more important, art or life? And what's more important, art or truth? Now, you can sing a lie, you like to tell a lie. Just because you put it to music and make it beautiful doesn't make it necessarily true. Now, the same thing that the eyes, they don't see, that ears that don't hear. They have hands that can't walk. You are a more accurate representation of what they represent than they are. What about putting those tattoos and acknowledge, it's possible that any statue also, like say the Lincoln statue, you can admire Lincoln, but that statue, it valorizes his corporal presence while totally ignoring his moral, intellectual, spiritual aspects of what he did. What really is valuable of Abraham Lincoln is not his physical body, but what he said and what he did. So now the Jews have no problem remembering Moses. They don't make statues of Moses. They make the little Ten Commandments and drive on. They have no problem remembering David. You know, they don't make statues of David. They recite the Psalms. Okay, you want to remember your history, you want to show honor to great men from the past, recite their words.
So you were saying something about a statue. What statue?
The Spanish-American War Memorial over there.
It's not easy to see from here. It's kind of behind a tree.
And you were, do you mind me interviewing you?
Sure.
You want that to come down, the statue?
Well, the statue is a statue of a soldier with a brandished gun. This celebrates imperial colonialism of the American variety as over and against that of the Spanish variety. Spanish imperial colonialism versus American, this is the Spanish-American War of the relation.
Why do you think they put it in Portland, downtown Portland?
Well, I'll finish my point. It doesn't critique or even describe either. So it celebrates imperial colonialism overseas. Why did they put it there? This is the 2nd Oregon Volunteer Infantry. They were the 1st in Guam and the 1st in the Philippines. And it's directed to the dead of the 2nd Oregon Volunteer Infantry. That's what's written on the pedestal. Most people don't even know this because they don't read the writing. They just go, they see the statue and they say, oh, that's nice. The vast majority of people I know have no idea why that's there. They just know that it's there. All they see is the man with the brandished gun, and they see a celebration of raw physical power. And this is a worship of man's strength and violence. That is,
I noticed your 3 arrows. Are you part of Antifa?
This is the Iron Front.
Oh.
We're frenemies of Antifa.
Frenemies? That's funny.
Frenemies.
Why?
We'll organize separately but strike together against Nazis, against KKK revanchists, and we also oppose the latent fascist police state. Okay, the Iron Front is anti-Nazi and anti-fascist, but we also oppose communism of the Stalinist variety, which anti-fascist action in the 1930s Germany was the Stalinist front working in Germany. So,
why don't you like Antifa?
I just told you the communist revolutionaries.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Got it. Yeah.
And many of them are seeking to create chaos in order to ignite a communist revolution.
That's what I've been saying.
So some of them come under this flag, but that's a false flag. They're hiding under our flag.
Okay.
This is social democracy.
Interesting. So what's the
Iron Front for
difference?
Social democracy. Look up the Iron Front.
Yeah, what's the difference between the two, really? I mean, I haven't seen...
We want social democracy.
Yeah.
Most of them want communism or anarchy or both.
Well, that's the irony, is that they're the anarchy and communism couldn't be more opposite, right? I mean, one doesn't want...
Syndicalism and communism both have an interest in destroying the existing order.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
But you don't. But you want to get rid of that statue?
Well, I do want to disrupt the existing order and fundamentally change it.
So reform, but not revolution?
Not reform, something more like... Well, the revolution happens every month. The sun moves around the Earth, if you want to see it that way, and so does the moon. Or maybe let's do it another way. The Earth revolves around the sun once a year, and the moon revolves around the Earth once a month. Now, I don't personally like our calendar system because it's on the Roman Egyptian solar calendar. It's a worship of the sun. I'm a lunatic. I'm an unrepentant lunisolar, actually. The trouble is our current system is solarian. So people like me get stuck in a psychotic corner somewhere or locked up in a mental hospital. Or get, accused of being Jewish or something like that.
What's wrong with being Jewish?
Nothing, but it used to be. Well, nothing's wrong with it, but the way it's construed in churches and other places, it's definitely something wrong with it. So, so yeah, I do think the revolution is something that we
Sorry to interrupt your conversation.
As for the political situation, yeah, we need to end racist policing, systemic racism, and in our policing. There is a need, I think, for a second American Revolution. The Civil War never really ended. Reconstruction was hijacked and put down by racist KKK.
I think I'm getting it. So you're with Antifa on revolution, but you're not on what they want to establish in its place. You're not with them on that.
Well, for the most part, correct. But even the revolution is not exactly the same revolution. There's two movements going on. One, Black Lives Matter. One is an intersectional radical liberation movement. Within that intersectional radical liberation movement, there are indigenous streams, there are black militant streams, and there are communist and anarchist streams. Now, I would include myself within that, but I think we also need to be careful about destroying the courthouse. I support the rule of law, and the courthouse should be the last thing to go if we're going to destroy the system. And it was the most progressive institution in American life in the 60s civil rights movement.
Yeah.
What about Brown's Board of Education, Plessy versus Ferguson? We should respect this building. Now, the reason why this is happening is because the Supremes have ruled in Skokie, Illinois case about free speech tolerating the incitement of violence. We stand against Nazi incitement. No free speech for Nazis. Thank you. Well, come stand with me then. No free speech for Nazis. That I appreciate Antifa because they're the only ones who are willing to stand with us against Nazi incitement.
So have you been at the riot or the protests or riots or whatever people call them?
I have been. Would you mind introducing yourself?
Sure. Sure. Yeah. So I have a small YouTube channel, and I am moving out of Portland soon, but I'm actually just saying why not come see what's happening downtown before I go.
All right.
But I'm not brave enough to come down in the evening, so I'm kind of here now.
Okay, so we're talking to some friends who are Portlanders.
Gracie West.
Gracie West and her friends from where are you moving to?
I don't know exactly, but I'm going to Maryland first.
I'm
yeah.
semi-nomadic. You can move in with me to the parking lot. We can join my
yeah.
camp.
All
so
right.
This here. This used to be the Promised Land statue, the pioneer image. Take a shot at this.
Okay.
I started this petition to the Regional Arts Council. Remove the statues, teach the history, manifest the destiny. We got this one removed. The next one to be removed is the Guam Infantrymen down here. The Soldiers Memorial. Now let's take a look, if you would. That's the federal courthouse that the mob has been assaulting for the last, 20 days or so. And up here, in the middle of the square, that's the occupied protest in the community kitchen, riot ribs. You can't see it behind the trees. But somewhere up there, somewhere up there, you'll see the Spanish-American War Memorial. And we can go walk over there and take a look at it.
Yeah, do you mind?
Let's go.
Awesome.
Thank you, brother man. What's your name? All right. Okay, so Gracie and I are walking.
And your name, do you mind? You don't have to give me your real name. Jared? Okay.
That's my real name. You can find me on Twitter, and I have a website, jaredessick.com.
Awesome.
With some of my political...
So I have an insider to show me around. That's awesome. I'm just not brave enough to come down here at night.
First time?
Yeah, I've never come down to the camping area.
All right, well, if you wish to come tonight, you may be my guest another time.
I'm a little worried about coming down here at night, honestly.
Yeah, it's probably better to leave after the rioting starts. The rioting usually starts around 10 o'clock.
Oh, where are we going?
Let's take a walk around the long way. That way you can see it.
All right. So where did you learn about what you are passionate about?
Well, I experienced, I lived on the street in Los Angeles for several years.
Wow.
See this one, do justice, make peace. This is what we need.
Yeah.
There's a community art tent. We're making propaganda art right there.
What does that mean, propaganda art?
Stuff like I did. I made this sign at this table.
I see.
Right now it's kind of being hit by a lot of the
Who's that? Oh, really? Oh, wow.
I was trying to introduce them to the Miranda, but they had the line up. There's a lot of very powerful people who I know, and it's like, hey, I'm with the people, so there's a lot of great networking that's happening, and we're hoping to challenge Nike and all these corporations located in Portland, Columbus, Sportswear as well, to put their money where their mouth is and shake hands on, certain issues that we can all agree, like prison reform. So it's very interesting. There's a lot of energy and a lot of networking happening.
Have you heard about some of the prison reform that's happened recently?
Oh yeah, I've been working in progressive politics on prison reform for like 7 years in Salem, locally and nationally. And it's interesting to see everything from the First Step Act to everything else that's being proposed.
Yeah, I mean, have you seen any of the stuff that Trump signed regarding prison reform?
I support any prison reform that regards to who signed it. Because I'm in like a system like that. I've been through a lot.
Yeah.
I'm willing to get all sides agreeing on issues.
I could be.
Ammon Bundy now supports Black Lives Matter. That's crazy, but I support that.
Who?
It's Ammon Bundy now supports Black Lives Matter.
Wow.
That's crazy, but 2020 is only going to get crazier, so I just kind of go with the flow and laugh at everything and say, hey, I embrace anything that's innovative.
Yeah.
As much as it would be interesting.
Yeah.
Black Lives Matter is now shaking hands with Ammon Bundy. Maybe that is crazy, but maybe there's some solidarity.
Maybe, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, that's great. I guess.
This is what there's a news crew. We're activating here to remove this. Take a look at this, Gracie. Let's stand here and take a look at that soldier moron from behind. Well, my friend talks to me. Okay, Carol Smith. Carol Smith, that's all in the leadership. Yeah.
She's like super cool though. She talks like this, we take photos, but she is gonna hang out because she is older.
Yeah. I believe they sent demands yesterday to City Hall. Here, take a look. These are the demands. Give it back to me though, because I don't have more copies. No, don't give it back to me. I'll be right back.
12 each 10.
But let's focus on the memorial, because that's what our political demand is.
All right.
Remember, our political demand is to remove the Guam from Spanish American.
Right. Okay. All right.
When you publish this, I'll get a copy.
Sure.
Let's not film this.
Oh, okay.
Let them have a little bit of privacy. One of the problems here too is that the city is totally neglected to do sanitation, clean water, trash, and recycling. Over there! So one of the ways they're sabotaging our movement is by allowing a public health crisis to emerge. Now you see over there, all the trash has been taken out. We're handling our own trash and recycling because the city's failing to do it. There's volunteers coming and cleaning up the bathrooms because the city's Parks and Recreation has totally failed to do it, refused to do it. It's one of the ways that they're sabotaging this movement since they can't get us out by reason of their...
And so this is the statue you're talking about?
Yeah. Don't worry about this. There's
some people are like crazy right now, right?
Yeah, well, there's dramas going on all the time. Hi. Alright, there's a little confrontation. Who knows what it's about? You want to go
Yeah, I'm curious about
engage in this?
No, I don't want to engage, that's for sure. But I'm curious because
These little things break out.
some of my friends are like, there's nothing going on downtown, and I was like, well, let me go see, you know?
Often they're just insulting one another, and there's not much to it. Sometimes there's an actual political point being made, but it's usually something that's been made before.
Yeah, interesting.
So, this is my immediate demand, and that I think of the Iron Front. In addition to, we want the mob to direct their energy. Dust. Dust.
Yeah, and the smoke over there.
Let's take a look at the front of it, because most people don't know the history of American imperial colonialism. Most people don't know what we did in Guam or in the Philippines or in Puerto Rico.
I'm gonna go film over here for a little bit.
Read the writing on the wall, Gracie.
I'm gonna go film this for a little bit.
When you come back. When you come back.
All right.
Don't forget to show your audience the writing on the wall.
I will.
And then I want to find your YouTube channel. What's it called?
Gracie West.
Gracie West. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
You can go now!
Yeah, they don't. They protect their own. I serve the rest. Let's go home! 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 Let's go home!
Go, beat us up!
Let's go home!
Why don't you go jump in the garbage can we supposed to be? Fucking crook. Don't beat us up. Christian next train stabbing 3 years ago. You should arrest him for cause of stabbing.
You guys, I want to tell them, police, I like them, but I would be beaten.
Arrest Ted Wheeler! 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 Arrest Ted Wheeler!
Fire, Ted Wheeler!
Arrest Ted Wheeler!
Ted Wheeler must immediately resign.
Arrest Ted Wheeler! Arrest Ted Wheeler!
Go home, DHS!
Arrest Ted Wheeler!
For rioting!
Arrest Ted Wheeler!
For what? For what?
For being a police commissioner and causing the Mexican man. That's why.
I believe in the United States of America as a government of the people, by the people, for the people, whose just powers are derived from the consent of the governed. The consent of the governed. A democracy within a republic.
You remember me from yesterday?
Of many
You said you're gonna be last.
We
Put your
don't
shit
have
down.
sovereignty of
Put your
state.
gun down. Take the badge
We
off.
don't
Let's do
have
it. You're a
sovereignty of
bitch.
state. We are
Let's do it, bitch.
confederacy. By definition,
You're a bitch.
confederacy.
Come on, tough guy. Knock you the fuck out. I will knock you the fuck out.
Job
Take your shit off.
unconstitutional.
Let's do it, you fucking punk.
I I support you. I support you.
Take your shit off. Take your shit off.
Please stop videotaping him. Please
You know
stop
what
videotaping
that's
him.
shit, right?
Do not post that.
Oh, okay.
Do not post that.
I didn't know you.
You're fine. You're fine.
Why don't?
Badass,
Because
right?
they will use that as
Staring at
evidence
your
against
shit.
him.
Oh,
Take your
got
badge and your gun
it.
off. Let's see what's up. Let's see what's up, you bitch ass motherfucker. You're a bitch. Go home and beat your wife.
According to police, non-legal language to be domestic violence.
Got it. Okay. Okay.
You know your wife.
Non-legal language.
Why are you looking away?
Police do not know the definition of the law.
So that guy asked me to stop filming.
Thank you for filming. Give this woman some love for filming and being out here. She won't ask for it, but give her some money and some love and some likes because she's out here on the
Oh, you're so sweet. I'm not brave enough to be here at night, so
Well, you're here now, so
yeah.
thank you so much. I thought they were going to arrest us for a second.
Wow. Why would they arrest you though?
Because I'm a whistleblower and I know Kate Brown and Ted Wheeler, and when I yelled at, it kind of
You're a Gestapo. Gestapo in the streets.
Jesus, please help the cops in these situations. So a guy asked me to stop filming because I have evidence on that guy who's threatening a cop. And he literally took my arm and moved me. Said stop filming and don't post that. Little does he know I'm live.
I hope your family rots in hell.
Leave his wife alone. It's misogynistic. He has the right to say whatever he fucking feels like. I have the right to insult him. Right. And he has the right to tell you to fuck off and leave him alone. Right? That's disgusting and misogynistic.
Yeah.
You want to be ashamed of yourself. Leave his wife alone.
Arrest Ted Wheeler!
I second that about his wife.
Ted Wheeler! Arrest Ted Wheeler! Arrest Ted Wheeler! Arrest Ted Wheeler! Cowardly take him down so you're gonna get on his wife.
Right now here tonight.
Wait, because I'm on the side of Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, but I don't see him fighting. I see him talking. I see him doing
For
talk.
20 years.
You're not Mr. Action, you're Mr. Talk.
Hey, would you take me to show me the statue?
Show you the statue?
Yeah, show me the statue.
That's right.
You don't know me. You don't know anything about what I
I don't want
do.
to know you. I already know enough.
All right.
It's because you can't take down the police, so you take down a woman. That's cowardly.
He has a right to
Cowardly
feel
is
the way he does.
misogynistic to attack a woman because you're not able to deal with the police.
I agree. Thank you for speaking up for women. Good job. Yeah.
I don't want to be with my mom. They're violent.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you saying that, but yeah, don't put yourself at risk. But I appreciate you trying to de-escalate stuff. Oh man, well, God, I pray to God that God can help reduce the intensity and solve some of this, you know?
I'll play that too.
All right. So, tell me about this statue.
Okay, well, first let's read the writing on the wall. What does it say?
Erected by the citizens of Oregon to the dead of the 2nd Oregon...
United States.
Oh, weird, I can't read that. United States Volunteer Infantry?
Anno Domini.
Anno Domini.
Bullhorn is 21.5. That's 1904.
Okay.
So now let's look at this.
Yeah.
It's in Guam. See that?
Yeah, first Philippines?
First in the Philippines.
First in Guam, first in Philippines.
They were there's a lot of issues that we can't solve here.
All right, so first in Guam, first in the Philippines.
This is one of the results of this worship of power, is that people want to enact their fantasies of power through comic books, through cartoons, maybe through just dropping out of society and walking around talking to themselves. When we worship false gods, it perverts the mind. Now, this is erected to the dead. It's almost like a form of ancestral worship, as well as the worship of the brandished gun. So now Black Lives Matter is marching through the streets with a raised fist. That's also a form of idolatry, but I'm going to tolerate this raised fist as long as this is in the center of the display.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that about the raised fist because
The basic fact of this is that I'm right here, and she's here, and he's here. So who the fuck's gonna tell me that I don't belong here? Where?
I'm not telling you that right now.
I've been in hell. Are you
I pray that you would have the
my
deliverance.
eyes black?
yeah, I pray for your deliverance too.
Here. Yeah.
In Jesus.
Why the fuck are we still talking? What the fuck are we even here? Yeah, I'm just.
Well, we got kicked out a few days ago.
Oh, we did?
Yeah,
Oh.
he's back. And now he's on here.
Well, he seems like he might be on drugs. Or is he just mental?
It's something he went through, some trauma. He's acting out.
Oh, I feel
Yeah,
bad.
people have traumatic experiences and they don't have the opportunity to deal them out because people say, oh, it's mental illness.
Yeah.
Or it's a drug addiction.
What do you think it is in his situation?
I don't know, but what I know is that most people are living in a society that is inherently oppressive and therefore traumatizing. And people don't have a chance to release the weight of unexpressed grief because their trauma is not acknowledged, because we're denying the moral order in order to perpetuate an oppressive system. Now, when we acknowledge that the system is oppressive, then a person can acknowledge their traumatic experience, acknowledge it, release the grief, and heal.
So
as long as we're blaming the chemical imbalance
Yeah.
and denying the moral order,
Yeah.
we're just continuing to perpetuate the trauma on all sorts of vulnerable individuals.
Here, I'll go like this so I'm not just like staring at you the whole time. So I'm chatting here with Jared and we're talking about power. We were when we were kind of distracted, but he was talking about power and about, you know, those who raise the fist having a lot of power or, let's see, or
So
wanting power.
It's a worship of power.
Yeah, worship
Worship
of
of
power.
physical power, specifically the power of the raised fist. Now that is problematic, but not nearly as problematic as this. So it would be totally unfair to criticize the raised fist of black power while tolerating this absurd and totally racist worship of white power and the white power of the brandished gun in pursuit of settler colonialism and imperial adventurism overseas, which is what this is to Guam and Puerto Rico.
Come up and forward door and we'll fuck y'all that.
So I hear what you're saying. I have a concern about anybody who grasps at power. I feel like they can be dangerous if they get it.
Sure.
You know, anyone that grasps at power can be dangerous when they get it.
I feel the same.
You know what I mean? So that's what worries me, is when I see people talk about power, and they're grasping at it. It's like, well, what's the difference between that and the white power that they are presumably taking down, right?
Yeah. Like I said, there's more than two sides to this. This is a letter written to me the other day by a Hasidic Jewish man. I'm going to read it because it speaks to this issue very well. The identity, this is Eliyahu Weissman from speaking to me. The identity crisis America is experiencing has its roots in the embittered realization that some of our religio-cultural foundations are dangerously hollow. This, for example. Today's opportunity is to look with fresh eyes, to rise up and fulfill our humanity. The current zeitgeist affords tremendous opportunity, yet for precisely the same reason is fraught with existential risks. It is imperative that we not reject sound foundational principles, but only those lacking true merit. This is a quote from Jeremiah the prophet, chapter 17. Are you familiar with the Hebrew Bible?
I am actually, yeah.
Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 5. Awur hagever asher yiftach ba'adam, v'sam basar zoro. Cursed be he who trusts in man, and who makes mere flesh his strength. U'min Adonai yisur libo, and turns his thought from the Eternal One. Cursed be the man who trusts in man.
Mm-hmm.
This is a snare.
Mm-hmm.
The worship of man, the fear of man is a snare. The fear of the eternal is the beginning of knowledge. When the fear of God enters a man, the fear of man leaves, and we have courage.
With the fear of God, yeah.
So
it's the beginning of wisdom. That's what the scriptures say.
Right. You know it.
Yeah.
So courage is contagious.
Mm-hmm.
When we purify our hearts of these false fears, this is a form of fear. Idolatry comes from fear. At the root of this idolatry is anxiety and fear. That's why people build these things.
Yeah. Well, this has been interesting. Some of my friends that live locally, they don't come down here and they say, you know, there's no issues going on downtown. And so I was like, well, I'm going to go look. I just don't have the courage to go at night, so I'm going to go during the day.
Well, here, I'm going to say one more from Jeremiah. And
Okay.
I invite you to walk out this prophecy with me.
All right.
It says, O Lord, my strength and my stronghold, my refuge in the day of trouble.
You know Hebrew?
To you all the nations will come from the ends of the earth. Oh, indeed, our forefathers have inherited utter delusions.
Yeah.
They are things that are futile and utterly worthless.
Mm.
Now, this is our destiny, and I invite you to manifest it with me. To read out this. Our fathers have inherited utter delusions, things that are futile and worthless. I'm going to address the crowd on this.
Okay. Oh my God. All right, you guys, I think I'm going to get the, you know, HE double hockey stick out of here.
Utter delusions, things that are futile and worthless. Worshiping the grand
If you come outside, it better be to arrest Ted Wheeler. If you come outside, it better be to arrest Ted Wheeler. If you come outside, it better be to talk about the arrest of Mayor Wheeler.
Bye. Good meeting you. All right, you guys, that was a trip. I can't really see the comments or the number of people that are watching, but this is downtown Portland. All right, so, wow, this is bad graffiti everywhere. It's so bad. All right, you guys, so that was interesting. I got to get an insider to take me into the Portland camp. I don't know what you call it, but basically he just sort of assumed that I was his comrade and and took me into the middle of the chaos. But anyway, it was interesting to hear some of the logic that people had for what they were doing. Like, for example, that guy, he said he's frenemies with Antifa, so he's like, he does want a revolution, but he doesn't want communism or anarchy, I guess. I don't know what he wants. I guess the utopia, which doesn't exist. I don't understand why people don't recognize that order is actually really hard to come by and chaos is really easy, and that the West has done the best that they have been able to so far. But anyway, I think I'm gonna head back to my car because some of the people there were really upset that I was filming, because I was filming a guy threaten a police officer, and he said that that is evidence, and he told me not to post it. He said if you post it, then they have evidence against him legally. So I just acted ignorant. I was like, oh, really? Okay, and I moved. You guys, I didn't tell him the real name of my channel because obvious reasons. But anyway, I just think I'm gonna go back to my car now. So yeah, my liberal friends, maybe I'll post this and let you see that Portland is not doing well. And this is what happens in the middle of the daytime. So no, I'm not coming out here at night. And they aren't either. And that's the irony. They won't come out here at night because they're scared of Antifa and other people. And so yeah, take care guys. I'm gonna try to turn this off if I can figure it out.